You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and to get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, are you ready? Here we go.
All right, thank you so much, Wes. Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode 120. It's all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manio and all powered by Outer Banks Pest Control, also in Manio. Hey, check it out. Kelly and Jesse are both in Vegas right now. They took a couple of pictures the other day online, put them up online. It's like, getting ready to take off, blah, blah, all this fun stuff. Yippee-ki-yay. They're in Vegas having a great time. Happy for them. I wish I was in Vegas having a great time. Kelly, what's up? What's up? You got these new vehicles on the lot. You got my wife all excited the other day. Something about a SRT8 Durango that she's been like drooling over, and she's not leaving me alone about it. So I guess I'll be paying you a visit in the near future if that one's gone to maybe find another one. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for doing that, Kelly. You texted it to me. You sent it to her. Oh, but hey, look. Kelly can find those things. Kelly'sOBXAuto.com is where you can find them online. And if there's a specific vehicle you're looking for, good chance Kelly can go out and find it for you and get it here, okay? Again, online at Kelly'sOBXAuto.com. I talk trash like I'm mad, and I'm really not, because I love that guy. He's first class. Back to Miss Jessie, though. She is one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet in your life. I promise you that. If you ever get a chance to speak with Miss Jessie Midget over at Outer Banks Pest Control, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you've already done that, you know what I'm talking about. Outer Banks Pest Control is where you can find them online. Probably paying them a visit or giving them a call in the near future. I noticed a roach the other day in my house, and my wife was like, yep, you need to call Outer Banks Pest Control. So it's probably what I'll be doing in the very near future. Again, online, outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. Y'all, it's hard to believe that we're almost done with the month of June. Here we are, 20 some odd days deep into June. We're staring down the pipe at the 4th of July. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, but it's here. It's here. And I'll tell you what, I am thrilled. I saw a line of vehicles coming in from the north the other day. I saw a line of vehicles coming in from the west the other day, and I was grinning from ear to ear. Again, if you're here on vacation this week, thank you for being here. Shout out to my man, Mr. Ryan Casciani, stopped by and paid me a visit at McGrath's Burger Shack last Wednesday. Hung out for a few minutes, said hey, and then he had to scoot on down the road. I believe it was him and his brother-in-law. Super nice dude. I appreciate you stopping by and saying hey to me. But again, makes me smile ear to ear when you're here on vacation, living your best life. If I can help you live your best life, let me know, and I'll do so. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. And I'll shout out to somebody who emailed me with some questions in just a little bit. Hey, it's been hot. It's been humid, but you know what? I'm knocking on wood right here in my office, my wooden desk. We haven't had any rain in a few days. I say a few days. It's probably been like 4 or 5 days at this point. I don't know when this podcast comes out. It'll probably be like 6 or 7 days, but it's been nice. I mean, we've had plenty of rain. It's been plenty damp around here. Okay. If we get some rain in the near future, that's fine, but not like we were having. It was like monsoon type stuff. It's like my man Kid Rock said, I ain't seen the sun shine in 3 dang days. I put his picture away now. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like it was time for the rain to stop. And we've been blessed to have some sunshine here lately. I got me a nice tan going on. Went out in the boat this past week. Got sunburnt. Went to the beach down at Oregon Inlet. Absolutely beautiful days the last couple of days to be out on the water, to be in the water, to be swimming around, to be having a good time here on the Outer Banks. And I really hope that you're able to soak up that sunshine and get that salt air in your face, the salt water up your nose, or I think I said that backwards. The salt air up your nose. You get what I'm saying. I just hope you're able to do so. Okay. Lots of great things going on. Oh, and let me throw this out there real quick. If you haven't had an opportunity to yet, please go do so. Go like and share the Outer Banks This Week podcast Facebook page. It's a Facebook group, I guess. I don't remember exactly how I categorized it, but it's the Outer Banks This Week podcast Facebook page. Like and share it with your friends. I'm trying to post new content up there, pictures, things going on, stuff happening as often as I can. I'm kind of a one-man wrecking crew in a lot of ways, but I do have a little bit of help here at the Outer Banks This Week studio and the offices. So, but I'm trying to take pictures of my kids, go out doing stuff and having fun like we like to do here on the Outer Banks. So go over and give that a like and a share while you're at it. Oh, coming up in this episode of the podcast, I'm going to be taking the show on the road. I'm in my studio right now, but I'm going to pack it up here in just a little bit. I'm going to head down to Hatteras Village. I'm going down to Jeffrey's Seafood and Hatteras Seafoods. Yeah, again, in Hatteras Village, I'm going to talk to Mr. Kelsey and Miss Kelly Aiken, the owners of Jeffrey's Seafood and Hatteras Seafoods. Brand new facility, brand new building back there on the water close to the Hatteras Marlin Club, if you know where that is. If you don't know where that is, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a description of where it is once I get down there and how you can find Hatteras Seafoods, okay? Super sweet people, super wonderful people. I can't wait to get down there and hang out with them. Oh, gosh, any news that's happening right now? I can't really think of anything other than House Bill 442, which I'm not going to get into right now because that stuff, I mean, number one, it's super political. Number two, we'll probably end up hearing a little bit about it from Miss Kelly and Mr. Kelsey once we get down to Hatteras Seafoods. They'll probably want to talk just a tad about that. So we're going to wait for that. But any other news, you're going to want to go to the man himself, Sam Walker, obxnews.com. He's the Grand Slam. Woo! Sam Walker, man. I talked to him on the phone last week, man. Sam is a first-class dude. If you get a chance to listen to the Sam and M podcast, definitely worth taking a listen to. First-class people. I know I say this every week, but I'm just dead serious when I say it. I love Sam Walker. I love everything he does. Wonderful guy, and I need to get him back on my show sometime soon, so I'll work on that. I got some other show ideas that I may talk about later on, but Sam Walker, obxnews.com. Want to thank Miss Aubrey and Miss Briley, the two teenagers that I had in here last week talking about teenage girl things to do here on the Outer Banks. Definitely was a fun podcast. They were a little nervous in the beginning, but then they started to loosen up some, and I was having some technical difficulties. I was having to turn up the volumes really, really high in a couple different spots when I was editing, and I hope it didn't sound too crackly or staticky, so I do apologize for that. But I want to thank them again for coming in, and of course they work at Booty Treats right there on the beach road. I think is that in Nags Head, Kittiwah Hills, in that area. Sometimes when I get on the beach road, I lose track of where I'm at. I'm pretty sure it's in Nags Head, though. So if you get a chance to go by and pay them a visit, I'm sure they'd love to see you. And get some good ice cream. We got some good ice cream there at Booty Treats. Oh, the Captain Marty Fishing Guide is out. Captain Marty is at the Hatteras Marlin Club this week. He is doing the scoring updates and everything on their website. He's still doing his fishing reports, as you've noticed. And if you have not received your Captain Marty Fishing Guide yet, it's because I just got him in here just the other day to sign a bunch. And I have to go through, get all the addresses, write them down. I'm going to turn them into Estella, our lovely office manager here, and our chief financial officer. Let me throw that out there, too. Estella's wonderful. I'm going to give them to her, and she said she would mail them out for me. So give me just a few more days, y'all. A few more days, and you should have them in your mailboxes, all right? So don't think I forgot about you, because I haven't. I've got all of your addresses, every one of you. Don't worry, they're coming. And if you want your own copy of the Captain Marty Fishing Guide, you want a signed autographed copy of the Captain Marty Fishing Guide, let me know, Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com, and I'll get one in the mail to you. All right, going to take a quick break, and then we're going to jump into some shout-outs. But before we do that, oh, my goodness. Where's my man Matty P been this week? We're going to find out right now with OBX After Dark with your boy, Matty P. Yeet!
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Matty P, back with another edition of OBX After Dark. All brought to you by the Jolly Roger, located at 6 3/4 mile post on the beach road there in Kill Devil Hills. Look, man, they got food, they got drinks, and they got pirate specials all year long, baby. Look, man, if you're looking for a place to eat, if you're looking for a place to drink, the Jolly Roger is the place to be. Check out their menu at JollyRogerOBX.com. Look, man, let me tell y'all where I was at this weekend, man. Look, I went down to a spot in Kill Devil Hills. It was a little chill spot. But look, my boys' band, Hot Sauce, was playing at Swells Brewing, and that's where I was at this weekend, man. It was their anniversary little gig they had, and they brought some old faces up. And look, man, they had a good time, and they were playing all the hits. If you're looking for good music, Hot Sauce always brings the jams, baby. They actually just released a small little EP. I think it's 4 or 5 songs on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you can stream. And look, man, if you're looking for something fun to do, a little low-key chill spot, Swells Brewing is the place to be there in Kill Devil Hills. It's on the beach road. You can't miss it. Let me get down to the nitty-gritty here. The BPL at Swells Brewing for Hot Sauce was a 7.8. 7.8 at Swells Brewing, 7.8 BPL for Hot Sauce. Man, they were rocking and rolling. And look, man, you gotta get in where you fit in. Yeah, I mean, 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.
The Dare County Farm Bureau Clint Godwin Agency in Manio can help you find the right insurance coverage to fit your needs. Whether it be home, auto, or life, Clint Godwin, Mark Tillett, June Jordan, Joel Groach, Jeremy Tillett, and Ryan Mills will go to work for you to make sure that you're well taken care of. Call them today at 473-2119 or just swing by and pay them a visit at their office in Manio. Dare County Farm Bureau Clint Godwin Agency, serving our community for over 60 years.
The Corolla Wild Horses are a sight to see. Hi, I'm Bob White of Back Beach Wild Horse Tours, and I invite you and your family to see these majestic animals in their native habitat. Our 2-hour tours take you to Corolla's 4x4 beaches, giving you a chance to have a vacation experience like no other. Our highly trained guides provide you with a history of the horses and the northern Outer Banks in our open-air safari vehicles. We often see surf and dolphin, turtle nesting sites, shorebirds, and much more. Book your experience with Back Beach Wild Horse Tours.
Man, that Matty P, I'll tell you what, one of these nights here soon, your boy Justy B here, I guess we'll call myself Justy B. He's Matty P. I might as well be Justy B. Anyway, I'm going to go out with him one night and I want to just follow him around and see how he navigates through the crowds and how he comes up with his BPL and all that fun stuff. But man, I'll tell you what, Matty P, he's a first class guy when it comes right down to it. He's one of the nicest dudes you ever meet in your life. And I'm sure if you saw him out and about, you would have a ball partying with your boy, Matty P. All right, let's jump into those shout outs. And again, if you're a listener to the podcast, you got any questions, as I say multiple times over, and want to know my thoughts and feelings or opinions on certain places, things, stuff like that, email me and let me know. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. It's Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. All right, so my first shout out is going to go to Mr. Frankie. I think it's Riffle, Riffle. I'm going to call him Frankie Rifle, but just because it sounds cooler. All right, so I hope that Frankie Rifle is correct. But Mr. Frankie emailed me last week, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to him, but he talked about in his email how he'd come down here with his grandparents, how he was one of his first steps was right into the ocean. He loves the podcast. I appreciate him for loving the podcast. He had a couple of questions, and I'm going to try to answer at least one of them right now that I'm probably going to cover again at the end of the show, but I'm going to go ahead and answer this one right now. Where are fireworks this year? He texted me and I emailed him back, but he emailed me this one question. This is the very first one. Where are fireworks this year? And are there any that have festival-like atmospheres? We usually go to Manio, but are thinking about maybe going somewhere else just for the change. But then again, we love Manio, so who knows? Just looking for ideas. So here's what I said back to him. I said, well, hey, Mr. Frankie, there are going to be fireworks at multiple places, all happening on the 4th of July, which it's unlike other years when they used to stagger them. They used to do them on different days, and now they're doing them all on the 4th, but they will stagger the times, I'm sure. Manio, Kill Devil Hills, Nags Head, Corolla, and Avon at present. Ocracoke may do some, but Avon would be the closest to him since he's staying in Rodanthe, but the only place with the festival atmosphere you're looking for would be Manio. Now, sources close to the town say that this may be their last big 4th of July party, so you might want to make sure you're here for it. Yeah, that's a source. It's close to a source. It's close to a source that told me that this may be the last big 4th of July. There's been some budget things going on at the town, but again, we're not going to get into that. All the political mess. It's not what we do. So That very well could be, but hopefully not. Hopefully the Lord will bless the funding, that it'll be multiple and fruitful and whatever those fancy words are. But I just, hopefully that's the answer to the question of the 4th of July fireworks up and down the beach and over here in Manio. You get an opportunity to go see those fireworks. That would be cool. But I want to shout out again to Mr. Frankie Rifle for sending in that email. That's what I'm saying. I want you to send me email. There was a lot more to his email than that. I replied to his email and I answered every question the best I could. Okay. It took me a couple of days and I apologize for that. But if you have any questions, you got to want to know thoughts, feelings, opinions on things, places to go, stuff to do here on the Outer Banks, email me. I would love to answer them. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Got a shout out to my man, Adam Dye. All right. My man, Adam Dye up there in the Chesapeake area of Virginia. Man, let me tell you something. The other day I went to check my mail and there was a box. And in that box was a Montgomery Biscuits hat. All right. If he found out that I love the Montgomery Biscuits, they're a AAA baseball team. I can't remember who they're an affiliate of, though. It's not Tampa Bay. Who are they an affiliate of? Anyway, doesn't matter. He found out. He went and ordered me one online and sent it to my house, man. And I appreciate that. And dude, that's just a first class guy right there. All right. I've met Mr. Adam a couple of times already, because by the time this podcast comes out, we'll have met him probably a second time because we're going to get lunch. And he's definitely a super cool dude. So I appreciate him, his friendship, and just his dedication to the podcast. And what a great guy. So Mr. Adam, thank you for always listening, man. And thank you for giving me ideas and for giving me your feedback on the podcast. Really, really appreciate it. Like I said, I want to give you a shout out. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Would love to do it. All right, one more quick break, and then we're going to pack up the gear, and we're going to head south down to Hatteras Village and hang out with Mr. Kelsey and Miss Kelly Aiken from Hatteras Seafoods and Jeffrey Seafood. So stick around. We'll be right back. It's time to get rigged up to go fishing, and at Rigged Up Sport Fishing Charters out of the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center, that's exactly what they do best. This 55-foot Omi Tillet built boat with that Carolina flair, known for tournament wins, is fully equipped with the latest sonar technology, along with two of the most knowledgeable captain-mate combos in the fleet that practically know what the fish are thinking. Hop aboard with them today by going online at riggedupcharters.com. Rigged Up Sport Fishing Charters. Let's go fishing.
Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village is the closest spot on the Outer Banks to the Gulf Stream. Just inside Hatteras Inlet, Teachers Lair is fully loaded with bait, tackle, ice, snacks, and drinks for your fun-filled day out on the water. Want to get rigged up to catch the big one? Lee and the gang in the tackle shop can outfit you to catch whatever is eager to get hooked. To see the marina, the tackle shop, or to book a charter, go online to teacheslair.com. Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village. Your fishing venture awaits.
All right, so I have made my way, as I said I was going to do, down to Hatteras Village. Now, I am at Hatteras Seafoods, which is on, is it Altoona Drive?
Altoona Lane.
Altoona Lane, okay. So, and Altoona Lane is kind of a road that takes you back behind the Village Market Red and White, but we'll talk about how to get here in just a few moments. I'm at Hatteras Seafoods right here in Hatteras Village with Mr. Kelsey and Miss Kelly Aiken, proud owners of Hatteras Seafoods and Jeffrey Seafood. And how are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're, busy and cutting fish and packing fish, and weather's beautiful, so we can't complain. A little hot.
Yeah, it is. It has been warm here lately. It's been really warm, that's for sure. So I want to start by saying I got an email a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about they wanted a Captain Marty fishing guide. And in the email, they also said they wanted to know more about the company, more about Jeffrey Seafood, more about Hatteras Seafoods and what y'all do down here. And I was like, you know what? I'd been wanting to do one with y'all anyway. And this just kind of kicked things into full gear. So if you could, let's go back in time to the history of Jeffrey Seafood and what it's evolved into today. Can we do that?
Yeah, so my father, Jeffrey, started this business in the early 80s, and he was fishing down here in Hatteras Village and started packing fish for $5 an hour, and went on to fish with a couple different guys, and wasn't happy with what he was getting paid for his fish and thought that he could do better. So he bought a box truck and drive it from Virginia, load it up with ice, bring it down here to Hatteras Village, The boats would come in, they'd pack the fish off the boats, shovel the ice out of the truck. And once the truck was empty of ice, they'd put the fish on the truck and then run it back to Virginia and sell it for a better price.
Okay.
So that's where he kind of cut his teeth on selling fish and had made some connections up with some family friends in Virginia, Amory Seafood, and Meat Amory, which we still deal with today. And it evolved from there. You know, we went from Hatteras Harbor, where he had a packing house over there, which didn't used to always be a charter fishery. It was commercial and charter. And so they packed fish over there until we got this location we're at now, which is the old Quality Seafood tucked back on Altoona Lane. And we've been here for the last 30 years. And just packing fish, boxed in ice, shipping it all over the eastern seaboard, all the way to Canada, even California.
California?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
So, yeah, and that's kind of how it's been going for a long time until, we got to the point where we had an opportunity to start processing seafood for local restaurants and consumers and markets. And so we've kind of just evolved the business from there. But we still do all the old school handling of the fish, packing, box and ice fish on the daily and ship thousands of pounds, weekly.
Okay. So you started out, let me make sure I follow this timeline. You started out back in the early 80s and your dad was like, I can do this get a better price for my fish. And then he just kind of started the seafood. So the spot down there at Hatteras Harbor, I've seen it many, many times. I've ridden by it many, many times. So that right there is simply just where you basically, like you said, cut your teeth in that area. Is that right? That's correct. And all that was simply just the fish house part, the cutting the fish, the packing the fish, the distribution, trucks leaving there, going out elsewhere to other places.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Now you've moved over here. You took over the old Quality Seafood. You've moved it over here to Altoona Lane Drive.
Yep.
Lane. Altoona. I got that part right. So now I'm looking here because we're in your storefront right now, and you've got whole fish. I see tile fish. I see, golden tile, gray tile, sheep's head, red drum. I mean, so you started now doing some retail.
Yep, that's
Is that right?
Yeah. So through actually during COVID, there was a supply chain disruption and in the seafood, transporting of the seafood. And a lot of people, as you know, came to Hatteras Island to escape the city.
Yes.
And so we were kind of overwhelmed with people here, and they couldn't get enough seafood for the restaurants. And so I had some customers come to me and say, hey, you got a lot of fish. Can you cut the fish for us and sell it to us? And I said, yeah, let's try this.
Okay.
And so I started with 2 seafood markets, which was Sunrise Seafood and Risky Business Seafood.
Okay.
And we kind of just started doing it, and it went really well for the first year, and then word of mouth, and I got a few restaurants. And then it just kind of exploded on year 2. And then we ended up, going from 2 or 3 customers to now 30 or more restaurants and seafood markets and farmers markets. And they go as far as Western North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
We also supply the restaurants in Ocracoke, and we go as far as Mania with our wholesale restaurant sales.
Okay, so you said you do distribute down to Ocracoke.
Yep.
And I mean, all the way through Hatteras Island. So we'll say Hatteras, Frisco, Buxton, Avon, all the way through the Tri-Village, villages, and all the way up that direction. So it's a good shot. I mean, and this is just kind of my assumption. It's a good shot that if you've eaten seafood on the Outer Banks, there's a good chance it came from you.
That's correct.
Pretty solid chance.
Pretty solid chance. Yep.
So one thing that I find very interesting about your storefront here on Altoona Lane Drive, I'm going to mess that up again, is you've got your showcases and everything like that very well presented. You've got different options, different seasonings and drinks and stuff like that. But you also, if you go over where you have some of your merchandise as far as like apparel is concerned, you have a big window that kind of goes and you can look right into the actual place where you're cutting fish. Yep. I think that's really neat. Now, let me ask you this. I believe you said before we cut the mics on, when you had just the actual spot right there in front of Hatteras Harbor, people would just walk up and just watch. Is that right? Yeah,
that's correct. They could just walk right in because it wasn't really a storefront. It's kind of a hole in the wall where we're just cutting fish and selling fish to, and so we wanted to keep that same kind of theme going here, but still be, within the law. So it's always been a dream of ours to have this kind of opportunity for people to come in, watch their fish be processed, know that, they're getting the fish that is being cut right now on their dinner table tonight. And it takes people back, they're kind of like, wow, I never really had fish like this fresh. And,
well, so it's definitely something interesting because I don't know that there's, other than what you had down at the spot in front of Hatteras Harbor, I'm really trying to think of anywhere that has an operation where you can actually watch the fish being processed, right there in front of you, so you can see how the process works and how it gets from your fish house to their table. And I think that's a very attractive piece because people oftentimes wonder. I've oftentimes wondered when I've had a steak, like, where did my steak come from? I'd like to see somebody like butchered a cow, but maybe not that far, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So one thing that I want people to understand is when they come here and they're looking for their seafood, they're talking to you all, they're getting all the details, they could also walk over to that window and just kind of take a little peek at what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's right.
So it even goes as far as, our packing house is right across the street from our market and our processing room here, our commercial packing house. And so a lot of times the whole fish comes over in the morning, early, right? And then he's processing it in the back and we're displaying it here. But this whole fish here behind me that you saw, the gray tile and the red drum and things like that, people can come in the market and say, I want that one, and we'll go cut it for them. Or the guys in the back at Jeffrey Seafood will cut it for them.
There we go.
That's right. And so a lot of people like to pick out their actual fish, and they can do that right here at Hatteras Seafoods. That's
a pretty cool. That's a nice little tidbit of information. That's pretty cool. You can actually come in here, pick out your fish, say, I want that fish for my dinner tonight, and they will actually cut it, fillet it, clean it, whatever the case may be here, and then present it to you. And I'm sure you also give them some ideas on how to prepare it.
Of course.
Well, that's definitely a really, really cool feature. And that's awesome. I don't know where else they may do these types of things. They may be done elsewhere, but I know for a fact that it's done right here on Altoona Lane. So we've talked about the history of Jeffrey's and Hatteras Seafoods. We've talked about what you all do here as far as the operation is concerned. I want to, if you don't mind, discuss a little bit about some things that are going on at our state capitol right now. All are aware, most of us are aware, and if you're not, you're about to find out, of House Bill 442, which started in the House. That was just a way to reopen red snapper season and flounder season. After it left the House, it passed the House, it went to the Senate, and the Senate decided, there were some people there that decided they were going to add a trawler ban for shrimp in the Sounds here in eastern North Carolina and up to a half a mile off the beach. Okay. That has really, really ruffled a lot of feathers. There are thousands of people in Raleigh right now that are fighting against this. And we got some senators that represent our region that are really fighting against this, as well as House of Rep members. Make a long story short, I'm not trying to go down the political hole, but I would like to know, should this ban be implemented and shrimping be cut off this year, how deeply would it impact your business?
Yeah, so just our business alone, in our market, about almost a half of our sales every day is fresh shrimp or steamed shrimp. Or prepared foods that contain shrimp, like shrimp salad, a shrimp dip, things like that. And so we use North Carolina shrimp to make
Right.
all those things and sell that in our market. There's a certain taste that a North Carolina shrimp has that if you've had it and you're accustomed to it, you can tell the difference when you don't have it.
Brown shrimp.
The brown
Right.
shrimp,
and
yes.
the brown shrimp come out of the Pamlico Sound. And so what this ban will do is eliminate our ability to have that brown shrimp out of the Pamlico Sound. And these shrimp trawlers that are, up in the estuaries and in the sound, like a lot of times they're not big enough to go out in the ocean and trawl for shrimp. So it's not just letting them go and do something else or somewhere else. Like their boats are designed for trawling. Their family history is in trawling the way our family history is in wholesale of fish. And they've been at it for generations and they're out of business. It hurts our business tremendously because of all the shrimp that we sell in our market, but also we freeze and wholesale shrimp to restaurants. So it's going to affect every single person who goes out to a local restaurant in the Outer Banks and wants shrimp. I mean, you're not going to be able to get North Carolina shrimp. It's not, can you get it? It's, you won't get it. And you'll be getting imported shrimp that's not regulated. It can be full of any antibiotic. They don't have sustainable practices. We have no idea what they put on it to preserve it, to get it from Indonesia all the way over here to the Outer Banks. I mean, that's the reality that you're looking at.
It's a great description. Great way you put that, because you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, what comes from other places, we have no control over what the environment was that they were harvested in, or how, like you said, how they were preserved and brought here. It really does change things, because I had somebody tell me the other day, they said, I'm going to use different language here because their language was a little tougher than what I'm about to say, but they said, I don't want to eat Vietnamese shrimp that was swimming around in pig feces.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I
right.
don't want that. And I was like, I don't know anybody that does.
Yeah, not me.
So with that being said, it's safe to say that the impacts would be very deep, very grave. It would be a grave danger to the entire fishery. I mean, like you said, the fishery being from those that are out there pulling nets.
Yeah.
All the way to your storefront and your what y'all do here with the commercial side of things, all the way to the
Right.
table at the restaurant.
That's right.
I mean, it would essentially, shut down an entire industry of Eastern North Carolina that has been going on for hundreds of years. And it goes from Moorhead all the way, to Swan Quarter, and these are little locally owned family fish houses, family boats, that make a living off of this, and it's a sustainable resource, and it would end that entirely. I mean, and it'd be a devastation to the economic, sustainability of Eastern North Carolina. I mean, it would. I don't even know what the impacts would be, but businesses would close, fish houses would close, boats would be lost, sold, gear, millions and millions of dollars and livelihoods. So,
And the trickle effect to restaurants and markets, it's just, I can't even wrap my head around what that looks like, because it's too vast to even understand what that would look like for the economy and for not just the shrimpers, but everybody else too.
Catastrophic.
Yeah.
Devastation. So we are all in prayer against this amendment that was attached to House Bill 442. So we'll have to just sit back and pray that the individuals that have proposed this or whatnot, if a change of heart, or that there's a way to find a happy medium, if there is one. I don't know. There's a lot of times there's give and take at that level, and of course, not going to go down that political rabbit hole.
Well, I think the general consumer should educate themselves on what those shrimp nets look like and what they've done to already curb the bycatch, and that they have these turtle traps and they've had these fish
Turtle
escape
excluders,
and so they've got those things already in place, which drastically cut down the bycatch. If you talk to anybody who's been on a shrimp trawler since they've implemented those things, that's a fact,
yeah.
So there's no real, I guess, science. Is that safe to say? There's no real science?
We haven't. No one's put out accurate science about it. I mean, and where is it?
Right.
They have, they have regulated it to the point for the fishermen to, make it to where, they're not having a ton of bycatch, where they're excluding the turtles. And most people think that, they're dragging the bottom of the sound, which in all actuality, no, the net is up off the bottom. And the doors are what are kind of scooping the shrimp up into the net. And so it's somebody explained it to me like this the other day. They said, how do you think that is actually hurting the bottom? What do you think a farmer does at the end of every year? He plows his field, and it's essentially the same thing. They're dragging the bottom, and they're actually, it's actually making more stuff grow, more grass, and it's helping the ecosystem.
That is the perfect way to describe it. Yeah. I love that description. That's probably the best way to describe what it's doing to the bottom of the sound or whatnot, because unless you live that life, unless you've been out there and seen it, you don't know, and that's the thing. Like, you just nailed it. I feel like you just completely nailed it. Well, y'all, I know y'all got to get ready to open. I appreciate you giving me a few minutes talking about all those different things. Any shout outs we want to give to anyone? Any thank yous, anything like that? Any specific shout outs of any sort? Shout out to the old man?
Yeah, shout out to Jeff Aiken, Pops. We couldn't do it without him. His wife, Janet, she's been a blessing and supportive along the way. All of our fishermen, all of the fishing families down here. I want to give a shout out to all the people in Raleigh fighting for this bill. And it means a lot to all of us. And I hope the consumer will educate themselves and we can keep rolling on and eat North Carolina seafood.
Amen. Real quick, give me the address for here, because let's talk about the route. So when you come into Hatteras Village, you get to Village Market Red and White. You can turn and go kind of behind Village Market Red and White, and you can follow that road all the way back to Altoona Drive. And you actually have a sign out there that says Hatteras Seafoods, little yard sign pointing down that road, and you just follow the road all the way back. What is the address here?
We are at 57162 Altoona Lane.
Altoona Lane.
Right in the heart. Yeah, Altoona Lane, right in the heart of Hatteras Village.
So if you're coming from the north and you come over the Slash Creek Bridge, you're going to take a right there at the Red and White on Kohler Drive, and then follow it down, take a left on Altoona, and it dead ends to our fish house, where our packing house is, and our processing facility, as well as our retail storefront.
Perfect. What's what if people wanted to look at y'all online, what's the website?
Yeah, so we're at Hatteras-Seafoods with an S on the end, .com. Hatteras-Seafoods.com.
Hatteras-Seafoods.com.
Yep.
All right, well, Mr. Kelsey, Miss Kelly, thank you for giving me some of your time today. Praying against everything that's going on in Raleigh. Pray that everything goes in our favor. And I appreciate y'all a lot. Thank you for doing this today.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich and coastal maritime history. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the story of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters of the Outer Banks. Discover the Maritime Museum in historic Corolla Park, across the street from the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and visit us online at CurrituckMaritimeMuseum.com. Be a part of the local history at the Currituck Maritime Museum. All right, now we're going to jump into some events, and all the events that I'm going to mention can be found online at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Click on the events tab, and you can scroll through them in their entirety. Let's start with live from OBX. Hey, tonight, June 26th, it's Travis Tritt with Vincent Mason. And then on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, June 28th, you got Jake Owen with Uncle Cracker and Alyssa Flaherty. All right, great shows. Definitely. I mean, I remember I went to the Jake Owen show a couple of years ago. It was absolutely phenomenal. My wife didn't get to go. So guess who's going this year? My wife is going with some of her cronies. Yes, that's what's going to be happening this week. All right. So keep that in mind. Those are a couple things going on at Live from OBX. You can get your tickets now online, livefromobx.com. The gates are going to open at 5 o'clock. Show's going to start at 6, and it's rain or shine. So keep that in mind. Coming up on July 8th, you've got Railroad Earth, Yonder Mountain String Band, and Daniel Donato's Cosmic Country. And on July 22nd, it's Whiskey Myers with Josh Malloy and the Drop Tines. Okay, so I'm working right now with some of the managers of these different groups to try to get some interviews. So I may be sporadically dropping some special editions of the podcast that include these interviews. Because, I mean, we're trying to promote these shows. We want people to show up, have a good time, and enjoy themselves. And if I can help with that part of it, I'm going to do my best. So if these individuals end up in a special edition of the podcast, you'll know what happened there. So again, this coming Thursday, tonight, June 26th, Travis Tritt with Vincent Mason. And Saturday, June 28th, Jake Owen and Uncle Cracker and Alyssa Flaherty. So again, go online live from obx.com to get your tickets. Oh, let's take a look at the old website and see what else we got coming up. Oh, my goodness gracious. Lots of different things going on in Duck. There's some stuff going on down in Ocracoke happening on Thursday, the 26th. One thing that I need to get down and go see is they do these beach rescue drill reenactments at the Chickamauga Life-Saving Station in Rodanthe. They're doing one Thursday, the 26th at 1:30 in the afternoon. That looks like it'll be a lot of fun to go watch. Summertime cocktail class also going on the June 26th, Thursday at 6 o'clock at Buffalo City Distillery. Oh my gosh, like their list is a mile long of what's happening right now on OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Lots of different stuff. Things going on in Elizabethan Gardens on Friday, the 27th. Alligator River's open. They're going to do a open air. What is this? Alligator River National Wildlife Refuge open air tram tour. $10 for adults. Children 12 and under are free with one or more paying adult. It's from 9 to 11. And you can meet at the Creef Cut Trail parking lot in Mans Harbor. Right there, it's off of Highway 64. That'll be a lot of fun. You get to go ride around like a little private tour for $10. Shoot, that's a steal of a deal. You really ought to consider going and doing that for sure. Definitely think about that this coming Saturday as a plan on June 27th. Maybe you're on your way into town. You want to do it before you get here, something like that. Or you're on your way out of town heading west on 64, and you want to do it when you're heading out of town. Sounds like a fun time for sure at Alligator River National Wildlife Refuge. Right there on Creef Cut Road. Oh, let's see. Lots of things going on at Mike Diana's Grill Room. We've got things going on down at Froggy Dog. We've got some things going on at Fish Heads this weekend. Charles Eston is going to be at the Pioneer Theater starting at 7 o'clock on Friday evening. Let's see. It's DJ night at Lost Colony Tavern in downtown Manio. Oh, let's see. Oh, DJ Smiles. Dance night with DJ Smiles at the Outer Banks Brewing Station. I'll tell you what, the Brewing Station always seems to be popping off. Other than Jake Owen happening on Saturday, you got the Tribe Villages Market happening down in Rodanthe at Camp Hatteras. I need to get down there and do a podcast for them. There's a resin frame art class going on at the Artsy Octopus in Nags Head starting at 11 o'clock that morning. Noel Beckwith is going to be at Fish Heads that evening, going to be at Fish Heads starting at noon. Noel Beckwith, noon to 3 at Fish Heads, little afternoon show. That'll be cool. Lots of things going on at Buffalo City Distillery. Some stuff going on at the Lost Colony, their actual show. Music bingo at Lost Colony Tavern. Karaoke at Uncle Ike's up in Corolla. Again, these lists go on and on of different activities. Let's go on into looking at the 4th of July. Lots of things going on. Like Wednesday, July 2nd is packed. Ocracoke, Duck, Soundside Market in Soundside Summer Market in Nags Head at the Soundside event site. Oh gosh, click here for more. Try Villages Market at Camp Hatteras. Kitty Hawk Kites is having their kids' days at both Nags Head and Rodanthe locations on Wednesday, July 2nd. Jesse Taylor is going to be playing at Oceana's Bistro from 1 until 3 in the afternoon on Wednesday, July 2nd. Oh, gosh. There are so many different things. Don't forget about trivia nights with me at McGrath's Burger Shack starting at 6 o'clock. Come hang out with me to do that. Jeremy and the Generations is going to be playing at Fish Heads on Wednesday, July 2nd. Oh my goodness. Like I said, that's not the end of the list, but there's a lot more to what's going on Friday, July 2nd. Let's see about Thursday, July 3rd. Same stuff. Ocracoke. There's an Alligator River canoe tour going on at the Wildlife Refuge. Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. There's so many activities, y'all. Like, there's just a lot. Like I said, go online to OuterBanksThisWeek.com, click on the events tab, and just scroll. Start looking, because as cliche as it sounds, because it's something you hear on FM radio, and it just sounds ridiculous every time they say it, but there's something for everyone. So there you go. Sorry, I had to do it. Friday, 4th of July, the Killer Dunes 2-miler and fun run by Outer Banks Sporting Events is going to be taking place at 8 o'clock that morning. Where are they starting from? It says in Kill Devil Hills. Where are they starting? Sometimes they start at Jeanette's Pier. They're starting at Jockey's Ridge State Park. So that's actually in Nags Head. So that's where they're going to be doing the Killer Dunes, Jockey's Ridge State Park 2-mile run. Oh, in sand? Yeah, you a tough mamma jamma. You can do all that stuff in sand. But hey, look, the town of Doug is having their 4th of July parade. That's going to start at 9 o'clock that morning. I believe a gentleman by the name of John Britt is the Grand Marshal. So there's something to think about. 4th of July celebration in downtown Manio starting at 3 o'clock that afternoon. Man, that's like the downtown atmosphere feeling that you get for 4th of July, man. That's like where you go. The Independence Day celebration of the Northern Outer Banks in Corolla starting from 5 and going until 9. Of course, the annual 4th of July fireworks at Kill Devil Hills. That's going to be happening starting at 8 and going until 9:30. There's also going to be 9:25 is when the fireworks is going to start in Nags Head, and 9 o'clock is when the fireworks are going to start in Avon. Of course, I'm going to go back through all this stuff again next week on the podcast, but oh gosh, the 4th of July things that are going on. It's First Friday. Oh, it's also First Friday. Oh my gosh, what a double whammy. First Friday and the 4th of July? That's absolutely insane. I mean, in a good way. I think that's absolutely cool. So there's the golf cart parade at Hatteras Village for 4th of July that day, starting at 6 o'clock that evening. Buffalo City Distillery's doing stuff. Miss Oregon Inlet's going to be doing a sunset 4th of July fireworks cruise. Oh, gosh. We'll talk more about this stuff next week, but there's a lot of things that are going to be happening. And going on into Saturday, July 5th, there's just things going on at Fish Heads. We've got Bonzer Shack, New Vines, all having some great things going on, as well as things going on up in Corolla. So that's just a taste of what's to come in the near future. So just keep all of that in mind when you're planning your different things and activities that you want to go do. Go to OuterBanksThisWeek.com, click on the events tab, and I'm telling you right now, you will see all of them in their entirety right there. All right, I don't know that I forgot anything. I do want to thank Mr. Kelsey and Miss Kelly for being on the show with me. I appreciate everything that they talked about with Hatteras Seafoods and Jeffrey Seafood, some of the intel and things that they discussed. Definitely a great place. If you get an opportunity to go down to Hatteras and check out Jeffrey Seafood and Hatteras Seafoods, please do so. You've got some first-class owners, wonderful people that just want to pour back into their community and just be a part of the community and be a part of your vacation. So you get that opportunity to do it, please do so. All right, I'm gonna get on out of here, but hey, next week on the show, it might just be me. It might be just a quick show, something, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will tell you, when I was talking earlier about a special edition of the podcast, I do have a special edition coming out, and it's going to be from the downtown farm market that happens in downtown Manio. That's coming up. I'm going to do that one this coming Saturday. So there's something that's going to be a special edition all by itself edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. So that's what's coming up for sure. All right. As far as into next week, not sure yet. We'll figure it out when the time comes. But hey, look, I'm going to head on out the door again. I thank Mr. Kelsey and Miss Kelly for being on the show. And I will see y'all again this coming weekend. If you are at the farm market in downtown Manio, I'll be out there recording that morning. Please come out and say hello. Jump on the microphone with me. I'd love it. We'd have a great time. Okay? It'll be fun. I guarantee I'll make it fun for us. So, all right. Have yourself a great, wonderful rest of the week. Be safe. Be careful. If you're here on vacation, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it here at Outer Banks This Week and OuterBanksThisWeek.com. So thank you very much. I'll see y'all again next week. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.
This has been another radical edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and listen every Thursday for a new episode.